What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Goldgell Getaways Travel Podcast. My name is Josh, and each and every week I'm joined by my friend Matt, who's also the co-host. What's going on, man?
What's going on, Josh? Happy Friday. Can you believe this is our
Happy
17th
Friday.
episode? 17. Wow.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. We were on a roll, man. The most challenging part is going to be in like the next couple of months when we do one. I mean, we always do these live, right? But like when we try to do one live from maybe in the parks. So we'll see.
We got that on the agenda.
I don't know. So many things could go wrong. So many things could go wrong. As if things never go wrong on this, you know? Obviously, we always have issues, which is mostly my fault. But welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us. If this is your first time here, watching, listening, whatever, we are almost up, I think, on Apple Podcasts. I've been trying to work on it for like the last 2 weeks, so we should be coming through hopefully any day now. Goldgell Getaways is a full-service travel planning agency, so we can help you plan a trip to Walt Disney World, perhaps, which is what we're going to be talking about tonight. Maybe on a cruise, maybe on all-inclusive resorts, or as things are beginning to reopen, maybe going across the seas, heading over to Tokyo, or I don't know, England, anywhere and everywhere that you want to go. We have somebody who can help you plan your next destination vacation. And when we're talking about Walt Disney World, you may or may not know, but we are an authorized Disney vacation planner, which means that just, we really know what we're talking about when it comes to planning Disney vacations. So whether you have big kids, small kids, or no kids at all, we can help you start planning your next vacation. And speaking of tonight and our topic, obviously, Matt and I would probably just be lost if we were ever on the show just by ourselves. I think we were once, right? Was it the very first episode?
First one, we went 22 minutes.
Oh, boy. Yes. So each and every week, we always like to have on fellow travel agents from Goldgell Getaways. And this week, we have got two. Please welcome Mindy and Katie. Hi.
Hello.
So you both are travel agents. We're going to be talking about children or babies, infants in Walt Disney World tonight. Matt and I, neither of us have kids. So
sometimes we are babies though when we're in the parks, Josh, when we don't get our own way.
No doubt. So we have you two, the experts, who are going to be talking about that tonight. And if you guys just want to go ahead and introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about yourself. Oh,
Mindy, I think you're on mute.
You're on mute.
Nailed it. Nailing it, guys. Already. Well, hi, guys. My name is Mindy. I am a travel agent with Goldgell Getaways. Very excited to be here. I am also a brand new mom. My baby is 2 months old. Definitely a huge Disney fanatic. We spent a lot of times at the parks pre-baby, and now we're spending a lot of times at the park with the baby, which is exciting. I love to travel. I love food. In fact, I travel for food. So you can find me all across the United States, all times of year, and overseas. And I'm definitely an expert in that travel overseas and Disney as well. So if you're ever interested and need assistance with traveling overseas, please feel free to reach out to me.
Awesome. Thank you. And Mindy's email is up on the screen. Katie, go ahead. Take it away.
I have been a travel planner with the company for a couple months now. I'm from Youngstown, Ohio. I have a 16-month-old at the moment, so it's just been fun seeing Disney at the perspective of being a parent now, rather than just like an adult kid going to Disney. So it's been fun. So I love planning things. So it's been exciting.
Perfect. Awesome. So each and every week on the podcast, we do have a sponsor, which is Chef Adam. And even though I think he's going to be taking a little break from doing some online cooking classes over the summertime, we still do have 2 more classes at least for what we have been doing, which is Copycat Theme Park cooking. And it's been fantastic. It's been fun. I should also throw up a little video just so everybody can see. It's all done through Zoom. It's very easy. Adam will send you the recipe list. You get that stuff and you cook right along with them. And as long as you do everything right, and you're not foolish and silly like I am, where I drop my food onto. Yeah, I dropped that right onto the computer.
Josh, what is it with you with dropping things on computers?
Yeah, well, yeah,
Seafood.
Well, so just before the podcast tonight, I was trying to get stuff ready, and I bumped my tea right onto our other laptop, which is what I normally use. So I'm on the backup tonight, and hopefully we don't have any issues. It'll be very easy to blame all of those on me, but it's a ton of fun when we do these classes. We always have a great time. This week, which is tomorrow at 7:30, we're going to be doing banana stuffed French toast or Tonga toast from over at the Polynesian Resort. It is a fantastic breakfast option. Again, I know some people might be like a little bit on edge about breakfast for dinner, but I mean, come on. Stuffed French toast is pretty good. I know Taylor's really going to enjoy it. We're going to have some friends over, and we're also going to be making the back scratcher from Tambu Lounge. So it's going to be good. Yeah, and if you guys are interested out there, if you're listening, you can send an email to adamgoldgell@gmail.com. It's also up on the screen currently. And yeah, so with that being said, Matt, why don't you take it over?
Yep, we're going to talk some group cruise stuff. It's the cruise everybody's waiting for, Barbados with the boys. and Taylor.
And Taylor.
Got to include her. December 12th, we're going to be leaving out of Barbados on a 7-night Southern Caribbean island hop, which is, we mentioned before, I think is probably the coolest thing about it, where we have no sea days. And we're going to bounce around from Trinidad, Tobago, Grenada, St. Vincent's, Dominica, and St. Lucia. A lot of great islands to adventure out to.
Yes.
Josh, you said you're bringing in the drones coming out?
Yeah. I mean, as long as Royal Caribbean doesn't change any of their, policies, I guess. Yeah, I'll have the drone, and we're going to be flying around the islands, and should be a lot of fun. I can't wait. I'm super excited. This is something that we've wanted to do for a long time, which is a Southern Caribbean cruise. And I mean, what better time? Rates are still really good right now for inside state rooms. They still have some left. And even Ocean View's not, it's not super expensive. I mean, for a 7-night cruise, and you're getting to hit so many different destinations, I mean, it's really a good bang for the buck. So I'm excited. It's going to be great.
And then, like we keep mentioning, Josh, leaving late at night out of Barbados. We got the whole day in Barbados to explore there. Anybody who wants to come on this adventure with us, events@goldgellgetaways.com. Subject: Barbados with the boys.
That's just the most fun title for a cruise. Like, I want to go just because it's called Barbados with the boys. Who doesn't want to go on this trip?
We're gonna make t-shirts.
Oh yes, we have to have t-shirts. We have to.
And then we got some group blocks coming up over the school vacations of February and April of 2022. We're going to be, those blocks are out on the Symphony of the Seas. The February one leaves on February 19th. And the April one is April 16th. They both have the same itinerary, which is going to be stops at Perfect Day, Coco Cay, Antigua, and St. Thomas. Same thing, events@goldgellgetaways.com. Subject, we're simple on this: February vacation, April vacation. We have great rates for that right now. And take advantage of those opportunities with Goldgell Getaways.
Yeah, absolutely. With blocked rooms, if you don't know, basically we have some really great rates that aren't going to change. But if you don't book that with us, let's say if you go through Royal Caribbean directly, you're probably not going to get that. You're going to get something that's much higher. So take advantage because we cannot hold on to the blocks forever. Obviously, they're going to end up going away. So if you're interested, taking a break during that winter time, the snow and everything else, I know how it is up in the Northeast. It's a good time to take a break. So, or you can take your break on Barbados. Just saying. But awesome. So
Josh, I'm going to let you talk about Alaska because this is your baby right here. This is what
you. Yeah. Awesome. So we've had this group cruise planned for quite a while. It was going to happen this year, if you don't know. And obviously, we have now postponed that till next year. It is always a fantastic time. This is going to be an Alaskan group cruise that is setting sail out of Seattle on July 15th, 2022. We're going to have some great sea days. We're going to have some great ports of call. We're going to try and do some whale watching. We're going to try and see some glaciers, maybe do some dog sledding, some helicopter riding. I mean, if we could do it all, we would do it all. But, we'll pick and choose what we can do. And, of course, every time we talk about group cruises, I always have to show this, which is from our first group cruise. We had a fantastic group. And, you just hang out, relax. The best way to do break the ice is just to go to silent disco. And you just dance like that lady was, and then dance like I mean, how about it? It's a great time. It really is. And we've made some incredible friends that, I don't know how often that they listen to the podcast, but we just hung out with them like this past week or last week, and it was just so much fun getting to reconnect and chit chat with them and hang out. And we went out for dinner. We had some drinks. So if you have never been on a cruise before, you're a little worried about going, any of these group cruises that we do, it's a fantastic time to meet new people, make some new friends. And if you end up coming down to Disney, maybe you can all hang out, get together like we did last week, which was a lot of fun. So,
I think that's my favorite part of cruising is making friends. We actually, our very first cruise, the people we sat with ended up at our wedding. We got engaged on that cruise, and then they showed up to our wedding a year later. So we still talk to them today.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Cruise friends are like friends.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and that is completely, totally true. Dare I say that we have a little private group chat between us and them. And we still hang out and talk and everything. So it is really a great time to build new friendships. And Val says only 441 days till the cruise. So it's a long way off, but it'll be here before we know it. So
who's counting?
I guess Val's counting, but we'll get there.
That's nothing.
No, of course not. Cool. Anything else to add? I guess I should say that if you want to go on that group cruise, you can send an email to events@goldgellgetaways.com and put Alaska group cruise in the title or in the subject line. Sorry. So anything else to add?
Let's go with the news.
Let's do this. Boom. Not a ton of news this week from around the entire industry, but we do have some big news to talk about. Matt, you want to start us off?
Yeah. This is the news everybody's been waiting for. So we're talking the Disney Wish, right? We're talking the Disney Wish. We had a presentation yesterday. General bookings are going to start May 27th. The inaugural cruise is going to be June 9th, 2022. Anybody want to get on that one? This guy?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. 100%.
From the presentation, Josh, I'm so excited about everything. I think I'm more excited just due to the fact that Captain Minnie going a different route there.
Slightly. Yeah.
You got, if I remember correctly, Rapunzel's going to be on the back of the ship, painting off the back of the ship.
Yeah, I think so, right?
And I like how it's very princess female based. I think that's really cool. And I think the woman with the presentation, I think her name was Ashley, is going to be the cruise director for that ship. I think that's amazing. Then the best part about it, they're not doing big long sailings. They're going to try to get as many people on these ships as they can. So they're doing 3 and 4 night sailings. They're stopping in Nassau, stopping in Castaway Cay. I'm speechless at what we saw, Josh. I'm really excited about, you know where I'm going, the Aquamouse water slide. Is it a water slide, or is it going to be kind of like the Aqueduct a little bit and kind of like a water coaster?
I think it's going to be a little bit of a hybrid for sure.
Yeah, and the big thing I like about that, it's going to have the movies on the interior of the tube, and you're kind of in the movie.
They're definitely
Such
taking
a cool idea.
Yeah, they're taking a play from Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway here, I think, with this one.
Definitely. It's called Scuba Scramble is the video.
And the best part about this is just that you maybe it's not the best part. I find it to be the best part is that you no longer have to climb stairs to get to the top to actually ride the slide. So you can start right on the main deck, and it's a conveyor that'll take you to the top, and you can just start just like that. So,
Wait, Josh, aren't the stairs what you're supposed to do so you can eat more? That's my rule on cruising. I take all of the stairs.
Okay. I do take all of the stairs, but all of those stairs that I take usually get me to my destination and where I want to go. Not that this one doesn't, but it's like, you just go up like a couple flights. Sometimes you have to stand there for a while. So I'm all about just being grounded. I let the ship do all the work for me, except
That's a vacation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And the big show that they've already announced is the main show is going to be Aladdin, the original Aladdin show. Yes. That's my go-to Disney movie, so I'm really excited about that. And then they've announced that there's 2 in production that are still a secret, which I'm assuming they're going to be original.
Oh yeah.
So that over the next couple of weeks, I'm sure, or months, we're going to hear more about those.
I actually would like them to just keep that a total wrap until maybe like a month before the sailing. But it's fine if they don't. If you've never seen any of the shows on any of the Disney ships or haven't really seen these type of Broadway shows to begin with, it's pretty amazing how well these shows are produced and done and performed on a ship that is moving. Because there have been times where they still do the shows and the ship is still rocking a little bit. And it's like, maybe they do miss a few steps, but at least you as the audience member, you would never know. It still goes on so smoothly, and they're fantastic. They are literally probably some of the best shows that you can see at sea. So we always love going to them.
Yeah. And then we can keep going down. Like, I know this is something that you're very interested in, Josh, is the Star Wars Adult Bar and Lounge, the Hyperspace Lounge, the Star Wars.
Yes.
I think that for adults, I think that might be the most popular place on the ship.
Oh, no doubt. This is very reminiscent. If anybody out there has been on the Fantasy or the Dream, this is very reminiscent to their Skyline Bar. I think that's what it's called, the Skyline Bar. Very moody. And then you've got the back kind of window that just changes, right, depending on the scene. And that's very much what this one is like. But this is like, this is Star Wars themed, but I think what makes this even more desirable is that it's not in your face Star Wars, right? There's not necessarily like stormtroopers on the wall or, pictures of them on the wall, so to speak. But, it's these more subtle touches of it that I think actually make it even more desirable. That's what I'm really looking forward to it, because it looks awesome. And I really wish that Disney over the last couple of years, if you guys don't know, has been kind of conforming to the rest of the industry and making certain changes to how they run things. So I'm hoping that they will eventually come out with a drink package, because then, boy, oh boy, I would spend so much time in that place. That would be the place to be. So
we know where you'd be 24/7.
Probably pretty close. So that or the spa.
Yeah, some other things they announced is they're going to have a lounge based off of Beauty and the Beast called the Rose, which I think is going to be more elegant, and it's going to be near the Palo restaurant, which they announced is going to be more of a Palo steakhouse with a prefix menu. We'll have more information on that in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully, they give us like maybe a sneak peek at a menu. And then the dining, which is everybody's favorite thing on Disney cruises, where they have the rotational dining. They're going to do one based off of Frozen, which is going to be called Arendelle. Shocker. And it's going to have Nordic influences on the food. And it's going to have live show with all your favorite Frozen characters, Anna, Elsa, Kristoff, and of course, our man, Olaf.
The best.
Right. I guess they couldn't get Sven on the ship. He got left out.
I guess this is going to be an amazing. This is going to be an amazing meal and a great show. I can't really confirm how they got started, but I think the first one that they tried to do like this on Disney was the Tangled restaurant, I believe, on the Disney Magic. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but that was awesome. So cool to have all of the characters coming around and just mingling and, chit-chatting, talking with you. And then they do a show and everything. So this is going to be something that like people are just going to be over the top for. And the great thing about Disney is that you don't necessarily, you don't have to have a reservation because this is already going to be set up for you, and you may or may not get to do it. Well, I guess because they're 3 or 4 nights, you'll probably only get to do it once, but still is going to be really, really cool to experience. So,
and then the next restaurant, Josh, 1923. Do you know why they named it 1923?
Why did they name it 1923, Matt?
It is the year that Walt Disney Studios opened. It's going to be based on food from Hollywood and California flavors. I'm excited about that. Maybe it's more of a darker, not a darker theme, but like a more. I'm seeing a lot of woodwork, a lot of wood, darker lighting in there. Not bright and elegant. I think it's going to be more of old school.
Yeah, I think it is supposed to still be more of that kind of Hollywood-ish theme to it, maybe. I almost want to say like a Brown Derby vibe almost.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Slightly more elegant, maybe with like some gold trim in there. But is this part of the rotational? Is this an additional?
From my understanding, these 3 are a part of the rotation.
Okay, all right. I wasn't sure about that. I missed that during the presentation. So, but
and then the other one is the World of Marvel, which the same thing. From my understanding, it's a part of the part of the 3. Josh, do you want to just look it up now? See if we can get up like stow away.
I'm gonna start researching how I can sneak onto a cruise ship. Yeah,
and it looks like that's going to be more interactive, where it's you kind of involve. It's like a dinner show / interactive, which I think is going to be great for the kids, great for the big kids.
I hope so.
I think this is going to be great. And going back to the rotational dining, Josh, I think my favorite part of when we did it is I had the same wait service at every stop.
Yes.
And shout out to my girl Onika from Ghana, who's a rock star, who found out that we like chocolate chip cookies from Castaway King. And all of a sudden I had 3 dozen of them for my last day on the ship.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she was an absolute rock star to us.
Yeah, I think that's probably the greatest thing about rotational dining there is that your wait staff moving with you is so nice. I think pretty much every cruise that we've had, it's always been something where they have really gone out of their way to get to know us, learn about us, make the experience even better. I'll have to dig it up. We're going to try and probably do an episode next week where we talk about the Disney Wish, and I'll have to try to find and dig up this video. But we had one night where Taylor's young cousin, was really tired. He didn't want to go to the kids club. He wanted to come to dinner. So he came to dinner, and some of our group left. And so he sprawled out across 3 chairs, and our head waiter went out and grabbed a tablecloth and brought it out and like laid it across him as a blanket, so that he could just chill and relax. I mean, some things that they do are like a little silly, but they really try to make the experience, above and beyond something that you won't get anywhere else. So, super exciting. I can't wait. It's going to be, I can't even imagine. Can't wait.
Josh, just so you know, I'm aiming for August 22nd, 2022 if I can get on that one. I'm trying to throw my deposit down. I'm excited. That's the date in my mind. It works out, kind of spaces out from Alaska. I can get my feet back on the ground a little bit.
That's my wedding anniversary, so we can celebrate with you.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Look at this. Look at this. Huh? You guys are starting something here. Starting something here. Well, we are, dare I say, we're going to try and get on this inaugural cruise. I don't know if it'll happen, but we're at least going to try. And if we don't get it, then absolutely, we will definitely go for that same date. So, but we'll see. We'll see. So, oh man, I can't. Oh,
it's like I was talking to some of our other agents because I missed the original video, and actually I messaged you and I was like, "Did you watch it?" And I missed it because I was in the middle of class. Luckily, it was right on my lunch break, so I had it on the big screen, playing watch my lunch. Had a few people walk by asking what I was watching. Hopefully, I get a couple bookings out of it.
Yeah, there you go.
That 30-minute presentation was a seller to everybody. If you don't, if you love Disney and you love cruising, and you need to get on the Wish. It's going to be amazing.
I think I will say that the only complaint that I could make is that it's not going to be at least 7 nights. So that's the only thing. That's the only thing. I know. But just saying.
So if we started this, Mindy, if we could get you on that cruise, like we could get Luca ready to do the diaper dash by then. Like we could start prepping him now.
Oh, there you go. That would be fun.
He'll be the perfect age for diaper dash.
It's so sad that's like one
of
the first things I thought about. It was like cruising's not how you would have been great at it.
As someone with no kids, that I think that was one of the highlights of my Disney cruise experience, where I was on the upper level watching the diaper dash with just random guys, and we're just kind of like, you want to put money on number 4 to win, like just kind of like having fun, like little side bets.
All right, Matt, no pressure. You have to bet on my child then. Like if we're going to put Luca in, you're going to have to bet on him.
I'm going to have to go through some YouTube videos and kind of watch the techniques everybody has.
Oh.
And
food. I'll just stand at the end with food. Luke will come for it.
I'm gonna take the bet against that. So
I'm offended, Josh.
Somebody has to
personally
lose.
Offended.
Somebody has to win. So I'm just saying, just saying.
Comes from a family of winners, dude.
We'll see. Time will only tell.
Oh, Josh, we're going to make it next week. We're going to talk all about the Disney Wish, Disney Cruise Lines. Oh, I can't wait.
It'll be a great episode. If you haven't booked before on a Disney ship, telling you it is, everybody I think gets a little on edge because it's a little bit more expensive than some of the other cruise lines, but it is an experience that is like no others. So
it's just extra it's extra special.
It is.
They announce you when you walk on the ship. They announce you like it's like, hey, you're here. Like, and everybody claps for you. And then you run to the buffet.
Yes,
of course.
Absolutely. Actually, we go to the spa first and we get our spa passes and then we go to the buffet.
You're a rainforest room guy, aren't you?
Rainforest room, 100%, man. 100%.
Right on.
Absolutely. You cannot do a cruise on the Fantasy without doing a little bit of time in the rainforest room. So it's awesome. But cool. Anything else?
Not much. Nothing came really out of Universal this week. We're still waiting for the ticket announcement of Halloween Horror Nights.
Yep.
Or as we call it, Matt Gets Scared on October 23rd.
Oh, man.
Disneyland officially opened today, Josh, which is amazing. Yes. So that means things are starting to happen. Good things. I actually sent a text message to one of my friends that actually was at Disneyland today, and I'm still waiting to hear back from how the experience was. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, I do have actually something to add. It has not been, I don't think it's been officially announced from the CDC, but it does sound as though the CDC is going to make some changes to allow cruising to begin this summer from U.S. ports. They're basically sounding like as long as 95%, I think, of all passengers and crew members are vaccinated, they're going to be able to set sail with really no whatever their like 2-month plan or whatever that they had to make, they're going to be able to skip over that. So we may start to see some of that start to come back, specifically probably Port Canaveral, Miami, Fort Lauderdale. I don't know if we're going to see that really open up in the Northeast. My guess is we're going to see it mostly down here in Florida, but probably more information hopefully next week whenever we talk about Disney Cruise Line. So we'll see. But cool. So nothing else to add?
Nope, it's topic time.
Cool. All right, perfect. So this week we have got Katie and Mindy on, and we're talking about bringing your babies, your toddlers, children to Walt Disney World. Is it a good idea? Is it a bad idea? Is it manageable? Is it unmanageable? I couldn't tell you. I don't really have kids at all, except for 2 dogs who seem to sometimes be unmanageable, but they're just dogs. So Katie, Mindy, if you two want to take it away, and let's talk about it.
Yeah, I'm excited. First and foremost, dogs definitely count as children. Mine is with me right now. She is my fur child. Definitely prepared me for motherhood for sure.
That's true.
I'm really, right. I'm really excited about this topic, and in general, the reason why I'm excited about this topic is because A, my son is only 2 months old, and he has already been to Disney. But B, I was always under the impression that you can't take a newborn to Disney. Like, we had always kind of put in our minds, okay, the second that we got our son placed for adoption, that, we would be out of Disney. Like, it's not happening. We're not going to go for, 6-7 months until he's older. And really, that's not the case. Disney makes it so easy and so manageable to have your baby there. My son was in the NICU for 25 days, first 25 days of his life. And my husband and I, our 5-year anniversary was on April 10th. We got released from the NICU on April the 7th. And we had planned this trip to Animal Kingdom Lodge for, I'm talking like 6 or 7 months. We were really excited. We had a reservation at Bull and Bear. Didn't go to that, but that's another story for another day. I know, Josh, I was heartbroken. It was like we had waited forever for this reservation at Bull and Bear, but I was not about to take a newborn to Bull and Bear. It wasn't happening.
Next time.
Next time, for sure. But we went back and forth on whether we were going to go to Disney, whether we were going to take him, and if we were going to go stay at Animal Kingdom Lodge. We were in a window at this point where we couldn't cancel our reservation because the way it had been booked. And so we were really nervous about it because of what everybody had said. And really what I found was it was incredibly easy. And Disney was very accommodating. But yeah, Katie, what's your experience?
So we took our daughter down when she was just about 10 months old. And my biggest thing, I figured Disney would be okay, but the flying was just terrifying for me at the time, because just already flying with a baby is nerve-wracking when you haven't done it before, but then throw, the pandemic into it too. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So we flew down, and then we stayed off property, but no, that's my little daughter on the plane. Thanks. And so it was a breeze to fly. First and foremost, it was you call your airline, and I asked specifically like what I got the gate and what I can bring on with her. So they made it so easy. So I felt safe the entire time that we were in the airport, and then we were in Disney as well.
So talk to me about bringing a stroller and like a car seat and stuff like that on the plane. How does that work?
So I tried to research everything before we even went, and I couldn't really find a definitive answer. So I'm like, I need to know. So I just called the airline specifically, and you can gate check, which is you can bring it to the gate, and they will just put it, they'll check it right there. So I carried, she was still in the carrier at the time. And did it freeze?
Yeah, you're okay. Oh, you froze again.
Am I back? Okay.
Yeah, good.
I'll try and stand still. So she was still in the infant carrier. So we had the stroller, the carrier, and the base. And I was able to bring those through the security, and we brought them straight to the gate when we were getting on the plane. And you can check it right there. We just had her on our laps. We didn't put the car seat on in the seat, but it was so easy, and they're so nice about it. And I was really nervous about her flying as well. and she did great she didn't cry once, which I was like, oh, you know, so proud. So we even had the guy best baby I did not hear on a plane, and I was like, oh, okay, good. So so it was nice to fly with her. A tip I would say with flying is taking off and landing. We did give her a bottle because just with the pressure and all that, and it didn't even phase her. So that was a good tip to know if you're going to be flying with a baby as well.
Josh,
that's really
something.
smart.
Josh, that's something actually good to know for like us, like to drink more when
we go to Barbados.
Yeah,
not that kind of bottle, boys. Not that kind of bottle.
My bad. Katie, real quick, if you want, what airlines did you use? I'm curious.
We used Southwest.
Okay. Yeah,
nice.
I use Southwest frequently too.
Mm-hmm. And we flew out of Pittsburgh, and so it was about a 2-hour flight.
Okay.
Yep.
That's not bad. See that, and that's one of my biggest worries is like the baby screaming on the plane, and like I think that's a really great tip, for the pressure, because they are, like using that bottle to kind of build the pressure up. That's really smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we stayed at Animal Kingdom Lodge, and I had a really great experience with just like the way the room was set up, and having the baby sleep in the room with us and stuff like that. So did you stay on property?
We did not. We had a rental home, but we're going down in a month, and we're going to be staying a couple of days on property then. So how was it staying on property? Because I'm curious for myself too.
Yeah, it was really awesome. So we have a bassinet that folds up. So when babies are really, really little, usually you have them a bassinet or a pack and play. You can go either way. Our pack and play is a little bulky, so we decided to leave the pack and play at home. We brought the bassinet instead. Literally just folds up like a taco shell, basically. So I told you guys, I love food. We took that to the room. We had a studio room. So if you don't know, a Disney studio room is just one room. You've got the bed. There's not any separate rooms, anything like that, other than the bathroom and things like that. So the cool thing about Disney rooms is that the curtains are like blackout. So if you pull the curtains all the way, there is no light coming in. And that is really important for infant sleep. So if you're wanting to get sleep as a parent, I definitely suggest booking on Disney property and getting one of those rooms because they have the blackout curtains. If you are flying and you don't want to bring, something for the baby to sleep in, Disney does have rollaway cribs, and all you have to do is ask. You can actually book that in My Disney Experience, I believe. If not, your travel agent can help you get that too. You can request a lot of things in the app at the resorts, but they're very accommodating for that. And another thing I really liked about staying on property is the fact that most of the shops on property actually have baby stuff in their stores. So,
that's awesome.
It was really cool because we were first-time parents here, didn't bring enough formula. So halfway through the trip, we're like, okay, do we want to get in the car and drive to Target, or do we want to stay in the room because we haven't had any sleep and get the Sanaa bread service into the room and then go downstairs? That was my first time having bread service. Killer. So good. But we got the Sanaa bread service, and then we went down to the store and just got the formula down in the shop there at Kidani Village. But every single property has that in their shops, which was really helpful. And if not, you can actually get Instacart and shipped to all of the resorts. So you can actually have your Instacart sent to you too.
That's definitely something I'm looking forward to.
Mindy, did you use Instacart or anything like that? I mean, I know you said that most of that stuff was there, but did you guys end up using any of that for? And I mean, it was pretty much like a breeze, or
yeah, it was super easy. So we had shipped, and so we ordered a Target order through our shipped, and they just bring it to the front desk, and the front desk will actually bring it up to your room.
Oh wow! Okay, awesome.
Yeah,
wow.
They make it super easy.
Awesome.
It's so convenient with a newborn too. Wow.
Very convenient, especially when you are sleep deprived. It is very convenient. Yeah. So awesome. Katie, so talk to me, Katie, you were showing me your stroller. And so like, here's my thing. Here's the thing that's been stressing me as a mom. I spent a lot of money on my stroller.
Yeah.
And the thought of putting it in because when you go to a ride, or even if you go into like Living with the Land at Epcot, you have to put your stroller in the group of other strollers, right?
Yes.
And so we have a Doona. If you guys don't know what a Doona is, it is basically a transformer stroller car seat. It's really cool. Google it. But everybody's getting a Doona now, and every Doona looks the same. So how do you like make sure you're getting your stroller back and nobody takes your stroller and all that good stuff? Tell me about it.
So I, again, I wanted to be overly prepared. So with her stroller, we did bring our own rather than renting one, because you can rent one in the park. So I wanted it to be something she was comfortable in, because we are all day park people. So I wanted her to nap in it. We weren't leaving it. So on the bottom of her stroller, I put her name, and I have a silhouette machine. So I just use removable vinyl. But I'd never removed it off. It's still on the stroller. So I have her name, and then I had it on the back side as well, like where the handlebar is. And I had a ribbon that I was specific that I knew would be ours. And then I also took our luggage tag from our luggage, and I put it on the stroller as well, just with my name and phone number and stuff like that. So I wanted to make sure that I knew, because you do hear people that accidentally take strollers because they look so similar. So that's definitely some advice that I would definitely do if you plan on having your own stroller down there, is to make it personalized to you.
That's really smart, because I've heard the ribbon thing, but the silhouette, or like if you have the Cricut, like you can make that really easy. Or I'm sure 95% of females, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, we all have a friend that has a Cricut somewhere that they will make it for you, and you can put it on the stroller. So that's a really, really good idea. One thing I wanted to say about renting a stroller from Disney: if you rent a stroller from Disney itself, you cannot take that outside of the park. So thinking about Magic Kingdom, okay, you don't want to be in a position where you're leaving the Magic Kingdom at night, kiddos are exhausted, you then have to take the kids out of the stroller, take them to the monorail or the ferry boat or wherever you're going. If you're not staying on, like Contemporary Poly, whatever, then you have to drag them from the TTC to your car. And that's a pretty hefty walk when you got a really tired kid. So just think about that. If you can bring your own stroller, if you can check it when you fly, whatever, definitely a good option. And you can also rent strollers. There's several companies that rent strollers outside of Disney as well. So Disney strollers are great for in the park, but once you get outside of the park, you're on your own.
And with Southwest as well, they do have, they already have the 2 luggage for free that you could take with you. Any baby, the stroller, the carrier, anything, that's completely separate. You automatically get that for free, regardless if you have 2 suitcases or not as well.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
We had a pretty big party to travel with, so that's another good advice, is bringing family members as well. If it's, an option for you. So, but if it was just my husband and I, we probably would have maxed out our suitcases anyway. So I'm really glad that we had, that option as well.
And I just want to ask, because you're talking a little bit about transportation, and maybe you're probably going to talk about this later, Mindy, but do you find that you're using your own personal transportation to get from your resort to the parks, or are you taking a bus? Does it depend on the time of day? Does it just depend on what's going on? Does it depend on the plans in general? Do you find yourself using Disney's transportation more, or you're using your own transportation more, especially with the the young ones?
So for us, all of the above. We live in Jacksonville, which is 2 hours away. So we always have our own car with us. But when we were staying at Kidani Village, we took the shuttle from Kidani Village over to Jumbo House. If you guys know anything about Animal Kingdom Lodge, there's a little bit of space in between Jumbo House and Kidani Village. It's walkable, but when you've got an infant, it's really not walkable. So we took the shuttle, and then we did take the bus to Animal Kingdom, and super easy, with the type of stroller that we have, because we have the Doona, you just turn it into a car seat and carry the kid on. But Disney transportation, super sweet. They're always very patient. They're used to this kind of thing. They're used to having strollers, and they're very, very helpful when it comes to that.
Cool.
Yeah.
We rented a car, so we just drove ourselves. But since we are going to be staying a couple of days on property, I'm really excited to try the Skyliner with the stroller and all that. So
I haven't done that yet. I'm excited to do that.
So for my research, it looks like you could just roll right on. So
that's what I've heard.
If there's just a little bit of wind, you're just going to get a nice rocking motion. Maybe they'll go right to sleep.
Win-win for
That's my
everyone.
plan for People Mover. People Mover is back up and running.
Yeah.
That's my plan for People Mover. Put that baby to sleep.
Yeah.
So speaking of People Mover, one of the misconceptions that I had before I became a mom was that there really wasn't anything at the parks that a baby could ride, a newborn could ride. And so I did a little bit of research on this, and I actually found out that babies can ride basically everything in the Magic Kingdom except for the roller coasters.
Yep.
Other than Barnstormer, Thunder Mountain, and Snow White, they can ride it all. And I was actually pretty shocked by that. Obviously, it's safe, but it just, you don't think about it when you don't have kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then I started thinking about it. I was like, oh, duh, of course I can take my baby on Small World and hold him against my chest and let him hear the song. Some people don't love Small World. I love Small World.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in California. Small World with the Christmas overlay is fantastic. But there's a lot of rides in the Magic Kingdom and Epcot as well that you can take your baby on. And so I encourage you, like, don't let that scare you or think that you can't have a good time at Disney. There's definitely still things that you can do. And there's tons of shows as well. You can take your baby into all of the different shows that they have at every single park. They're fantastic. If you haven't taken the time to see a show, you should. Those are some of the things that my husband and I actually used to skip just because we didn't know. Like, we were too busy trying to get boarding passes for Rise of the Resistance or find the next new snack.
Festival of the Lion King, it's coming back. It's one of
so
the best shows you can go see.
I am so excited about Festival of the Lion King. Like, so
I think it's
excited.
coming back right before we get there too. So
I think it is.
So excited.
That's awesome. So Katie, did you take your baby on any of the rides?
Go ahead.
Did you hear me?
Well.
Okay. So I think Katie was asking if I took Luca on anything. We did not, just because we were trying to keep him as cool as possible, because when they're really little like that, they can get overheated pretty easy. So we didn't get to any of the rides. We did walk around all the parks. We did Epcot our first night, did the food festival, because that's #1 priority for mama.
Yes.
But Katie, I believe you've taken your daughter on some of the rides, right?
Yes. So we did do Magic Kingdom all day with her, and I truly was. I mean, you see what that they can ride, and I feel like all day we were taking her on a ride, and like I said, she was 10 months at the time, and she absolutely loved the rides. Like, I mean, you can't fake that kind of excitement. I mean, look at her. So
cute.
That was in Epcot, where the one in the Mexico Pavilion. She loved that. But on It's a Small World in Magic Kingdom, that, like, we all looked at each other, my entire family. That was the first time she laughed on her own. Like, I'm like laughing. She was just taking it all in. I think I froze again.
No, you're good. You're right. You're right.
Oh, okay.
No, you're right.
I'm so sorry. So she was just looking at the song, the dolls. She was just laughing, and we're like, oh my gosh, like, this is the first time she laughed. So I'll always remember that, like, her first laugh on her own was on the It's a Small World ride. And she loved it. She was just amazed by all the colors, the lights, the songs, which I think in Magic Kingdom specifically, they do a really good job about, even for babies. And again, as you said, as someone who doesn't have that, I loved going to Magic Kingdom, but I never thought about, how it would be for babies and stuff. And I was truly amazed. I was like, it was great. So,
something that you kind of brought up there was that, she was having such a great time, and it was something that you will remember forever. I hear a lot of times, again, we don't have kids, but I hear a lot of other people saying that, I'm not going to take my kid until they're 3 or 4, because then that way they can kind of remember, the experience, because I want it to be worth it for them. But, would you say, in a way, that even though that she's probably never going to remember that, really, it's really more of an experience that still is for you to be able to enjoy and get a lot of joy out of them having that joy, even though they might not remember it, but for you, it's just something that you'll be able to hold on to for forever. So,
yeah,
right.
Absolutely. I feel bad because it was my husband's first time too. And I'm like, it was Riley's first trip. And I'm like, oh, it was my husband's first trip too.
Yeah.
So, but I think that's part of the reason why he also fell in love with Disney was we saw how much joy that it brought our daughter. So it was really cool.
That makes so much sense. Well, and there's like this psychology behind like baby bonding, right? So like when your baby is experiencing something for the first time, like joy, laughter, whatever it is, like you bond with your baby there. So they may not like remember it, but there's like this emotional connection that's built with your child when things like that happen. So like getting to have that first emotional connection of laughter, like in Disney World, especially if you're a Disney fan, like I can only hope that Luca's first laugh is in Disney and hopefully on Three Caballeros, which is highly underrated ride. I love Three Caballeros.
Yes.
We didn't talk about that last week.
You both missed that episode, so we're not going to go down that road tonight, okay?
I love Three Caballeros. I did not miss that. I love Three Caballeros. I think it's underrated, but that's my personal opinion. But there is some psychology behind, having those memories with your baby. And, I've heard that too. Like, why am I going to, take my baby before they're 3 or 4? Like another thing is too, babies are free until they're 2 years old at Disney.
I was just going to say that. Take advantage. I'm trying to go as much as I can. So.
And make those memories for yourself. And, your husband got to have his first trip where his baby, had her first laugh at Disney. Like you can't make a better first Disney trip than that.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Did you use any of which is probably one of the top things we should talk about, is the baby care centers? Did you utilize those at all?
I did. So the baby care centers at Disney are fantastic. So going back to what you were talking about with like all the sights and the sounds and like the music and all of that, babies can be very easily overstimulated. And when a baby is overstimulated, a baby cries and is fussy and very hard to calm down. The baby care centers are not only great for if you need to nurse your baby, if you just need to cool off, but if you need to get your baby out of that like noise and stimulation and things like that, the baby care center is a very nice, quiet place to go where you and your baby can kind of sit, cool down. You're able to charge your phone there. And they actually have a store in the baby care center as well that has literally everything you could possibly need. Diapers, formula, wipes, you name it, they've got it in the baby care store. So it really is a fantastic place. And I've been to other parks that don't have those amenities. And let me tell you, it is a night and day difference when you're going to Disney and you have that. And you're able to go into the baby care center and take care of, changing a diaper, nursing your baby, whatever it may be, in a nice, calm, cool place.
Yeah. We actually, before getting on It's a Small World ride, when we were waiting in line, every parent has to deal with it. We had, of course, a massive blowout.
Yep.
So we ran to the restroom as close as possible, and we just try to hurry up and get her, going real quick. And so we didn't use the baby care center for that time. And I wish, that's the one thing I do wish there is. I believe each park has at least one. Yep. So I wish it was a little bit closer than where we were, but I mean, still, with just going to the restrooms as well, they do have that separate space that has the changing area, which is super convenient as well. So, but the baby care centers I was just going in the store, I was like, wow, like you could buy anything. I was just like, they have thought everything out to make travel going to Disney with a baby the best way possible.
That's really awesome. I never even would have thought that like that was something that, I mean, obviously you do have to pay for some of that stuff, but I mean, still that's really awesome that they provide that for parents, in that time of need, because, I mean, I'm sure sometimes it can be extremely stressful just trying to walk out the door and you're trying to check everything off your list to make sure that you've got everything, maybe in your bag, and you just accidentally forget something. I'm sure it's easy to do.
Right.
Oh,
you can get it right there. So,
well, and even if you think you have everything, sometimes you don't have enough. Like
especially
we took
Oh,
you have
there's
a
so many of
blowout,
those that
game
are
over.
laying around too. Sorry,
Yeah.
Oh, pacify. Yeah.
pacifiers,
kids-
not blowouts.
Yeah, well, those two always. The baby, like I literally could pack like 4 pacifiers, and by the time I get to the end of Target, 2 of them have already hit the floor, so it's game over.
Yeah.
But yeah, my son had a very similar experience. We were at a different park, and he threw up like massive, like Linda Blair throw up and a blowout. Sorry for anybody listening that's squeamish. It's terrible. That's just what it's like having a baby. And we wish we had that, that baby care center that Disney has to take care of that, because we were fumbling over like a little table trying to get his outfit changed, and he's squirming all over the place, and it was awful. But Disney does it right for sure.
Awesome.
True.
All right. Well, we've talked about diapers and throw up and outfits and oh my. Boys, do you have questions for us?
So Mindy, have you been in all 4 parks with Luca so far?
I have. I've been in all 4 parks.
Okay.
2 months old. He's been in all 4.
All right. Like, obviously he's 2 months old. Like, what do you think his favorite park is so far? Like, from you can see through his facial expressions and anything.
Oh, that's hard.
Or you can just lie and say whatever your favorite is.
Listen, I'm gonna lie. Then I'm gonna say Epcot. But I would say probably Animal Kingdom. And the reason why I say that is he slept when we were at the actual park, but we stayed in a Savannah view room at Animal Kingdom Lodge, which was awesome. And so like in the mornings, we would take him out on the patio. And of course, you've got the drafts. Like if you've not stayed at the Animal Kingdom Lodge, I couldn't recommend it more. People say it's too far away from like the rest of the parks, but you know what? It's not. It really isn't. And Disney transportation is so great. I love Animal Kingdom Lodge, but we took him out on the patio every single morning. The giraffes are coming up to the windows. You see his little eyes kind of darting back and forth. So if I have to guess, my son is going to be an Animal Kingdom kind of guy.
Nice.
But my fingers are crossed for Epcot.
Perfect. Katie, what about you?
Riley definitely liked Magic Kingdom the best. There was not even 1 ounce of screaming or crying. She loved every minute of it, which is all I could ask for as a parent. So,
all right.
And you said the first time you took her, what was last fall, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So the cavalcades have been around. Like, how did she really interact with those? Like seeing characters for the first time. Did I lose her?
I heard you. I think I froze a little bit.
Okay.
We actually did, which is something we didn't talk about as well. That's the main thing I wanted to do. So I made sure that I was getting all the character dining and so we did Hollywood and Vine, and we did Garden Grill. And so it was, they were distanced a little bit, but she loved it. I wish that I didn't send a picture of her with the characters then, but she did love it, and she did like the cavalcades. I was actually pretty mad because like we have talked about, we all love food. So I was getting food. I think we were at I was just getting nachos at Magic Kingdom, and I heard the music change, and I was like, my mom was with Riley, and that was the first cavalcade we saw. So my mom actually got to experience the first one with her and not me, because I was getting food, and I came running, and I was like, oh, I was holding her when she did love it. So I'm very anxious because we are going in a month, and she's a little bit older now, and we had a very terrible experience with the Easter Bunny. So I will be very curious to see how she is with
that Easter Bunny
is
a scary.
Oh gosh. And again, as a parent, you love the screaming pictures as well. So it was I'm hoping for some screaming pictures in Chef Mickey's or some smiles. I don't know, but it'll be the experience.
Is character dining back in Chef Mickey's? Did I miss that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
There we go. That's exciting.
Yeah. I'm so excited.
Something I'll add. Eric's been adding a ton of great stuff to the chat tonight. But if you have an infant that drinks milk, you can buy warm kids' milk from Starbucks at any of the parks at Disney Springs. So if you need that,
smart.
it's there. And then you guys were talking about the baby care centers, and I know that this is more of a baby episode, but Michelle was saying that if you have a kid with autism or special needs or sensory overload, baby care center is actually another place that you can go. It's peaceful, relaxing, and have a grounding moment, which is really nice. I mean, you know, Disney is hands down probably one of the best places that you could take, you know, all children, you know, and everybody's still going to have a really great time, no matter what. So they try to do just about everything and think about everything to make that experience just so much better, which is awesome.
Every detail.
Oh, sorry.
I highly recommend it. If anyone has the chance to bring their obviously kids, but babies. I mean, Mindy can attest to bringing a newborn. I can attest to bringing a 10-month-old and you know, a 16-month-old now. It's truly I can't stress enough how much it'll change for like you and just to see, you know, the kids and everything. I mean, it's an experience that I can't even describe, obviously. So
do it for yourself. Selfishly, just do it for yourself.
Exactly.
Right.
It's something I know.
Right. Absolutely.
Cool. Do you guys have anything else to add?
No.
No?
I'm glad that we got to talk about this. I wish this had been something that was out there before I had a baby. So I felt a little bit less anxious, but now I'm glad to be part of the people putting out the news. Take your babies to Disney.
Yeah. Well, I think that's great because now hopefully, you know, if there's somebody else out there, which I'm sure that there is, who is anxious or is worried about it, hopefully they'll be able to hear this and listen and get some amazing advice. You know, it really sounds like Disney has got you covered almost no matter what. So, which is really cool. But awesome. Well, thank you everybody for joining us tonight on the episode. As always, we will be back next week. Isn't that right, Matt? Next week, next Friday.
Yep, next Friday, episode 18. Like that, that's still mind-boggling me that we made it this far.
I know.
And the plan of attack right now is we're going to get some agents on and we're going to talk some Disney cruising. We're going to talk the Wish, maybe a slight top 5 favorite things to do on a Disney cruise ship.
Oh, there we go. That would be good. Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's going to be very Disney Cruise Line based next week. And I'm really excited about that, especially with the news that came out this week. And maybe we have some CDC information next week for other good information. You never know. It changes week to week, day to day. So
absolutely. Well, awesome. Thank you everybody for being here tonight, listening in. If this is your first time joining, listening, whatever, if you're watching, I'm going to throw up the ladies' emails again. Here's Mindy's, Mindy@goldgellgetaways.com and Katie at goldgellgetaways.com. Super simple. Love it. That's always so much better for myself. And I'm sure it's so much better for everybody out there who needs to send you an email. Thank you both for being on tonight. And Matt, I'll let you close us out.
Yep. Make sure to subscribe to the Goldgell Getaways YouTube channel. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button. And now we're off to plan your next vacation.
Bye.